Hello folks, first responder here. This is my first video of probably 5 videos on my bob, on my bug out bag. I'm going to cover more, as we've got it laid out here on the table, some of the contents of the bug out bag. I'm not going to really break down these self-contained pouches. I want to cover these later in later videos. Like in particular the first aid kit, for example. There's a lot of items in here, really good items, critical, but it's going to take me about 10 minutes just to cover the first aid kit. So I'm going to do the first aid kit, the survival kit, and the shelter bag and the fire kit in separate little videos. So in this video though in particular, I'm going to start laying out some of the details of what I have in my bug out bag. In my bob, my bug out bag, I'm using a Air Force issue ACU digital camo bag, a little bit different, a little bit different than a Allison bag. Still has the Mylar on the front and some loops to hang things from, but it's a little bit different. Pouches are laid out a little bit differently. It's larger volume size than a Allison. This bag will hold about 45 to 50 pounds loaded up. I will not typically carry that much. I like to keep it, my bag weighs in at around 34 pounds, but I still have some MREs to add. It'll probably top the scales at around 36 pounds when I'm done. And that's pretty much all I want. I don't want to go much higher than that. Okay, so covering the items over here, we'll cover food. Again, like I mentioned, missing some MREs, so MREs would go right here. I've got space for those. Probably 3 or 4 MREs anyways that I'd want to put in there. To supplement the MREs, I've got some dehydrated food packs from Backpacker's Pantry and Mountain Food. So we're going to have at least 3 meals there. 2 or 3 breakfasts with oatmeal here. Beef jerky. Again, buy these Ziploc vacuum seal bags. They're great. You can suck out all the air. They'll make these last for at least 6 to, oh no, it looks like July of next year. So we should have no problem to keep the beef jerky fresh. I've got these 2 packs of that. Got some garbage bags over here. 3 full-size 40-gallon garbage bags. Make for a great makeshift shelter if you need it. Have some Hall's vitamin C lozenges. They're just high potency vitamin C, great to be sucking on one of those every day while you're on the field, on the track, as well as some throat lozenges if you get a little bit sick when you're out in the field. I've got some cocoa packs. Unfortunately, I cannot drink coffee, so I have to have some sort of coffee substitute there. So I got my cocoa. And it's very important that you have your electrolytes. You must replace your electrolyte levels as you sweat that out on the trail. I have 6 total in my bug out bag, but they're located in different parts of my bug out bag. Have to have some trail mix. That's really important. Trail mix will last for about 6 months in your bug out bag. You know, just kind of look at it and taste it every once in a while and see how it is, and it should be fine. Moving from the food-oriented to my cooking. Got to have something to cook your food in. Here I have the jet boil system. Great cooking system, recommended to me by a Navy SEAL. And just a fantastic. This will boil half a liter of water in under 3 minutes. So a fantastic cooking system. It's self-contained. It has the fuel cartridge in there. I have a lighter that I stuck in the bottom here just in case the electrical ignition stops working. I carry 2 extra fuel canisters with me as well, so I've got at least probably 2 weeks of cooking fuel there if need be. Great little thing here, spice missile it's called. Can carry all sorts of spices in here, so you can put the own spices you like. I got nutmeg, cinnamon, oregano, garlic salt, paprika, and curry. So I have some great spices that I enjoy just to spice up your food when you're out in the field. You'd make a huge difference as far as, you know, When you're eating bland food, you're putting that spice on it. And then some salt and pepper. Toilet paper, gotta have that. I've got a couple of rolls of that in my bug out bag. Moving to my communication and my lighting, gotta have some two-way radios. Of course, one of them, you're only gonna be carrying one, hopefully, your partner has the other. I picked up some Midlands. They have a 36-mile, they advertised a 36-mile range. They don't work as advertised. Probably get about 5 miles out of this maximum. If you're both maybe out in the field and you've got an open range of sight, maybe. But being how I had my buddy in his house and I drove 5-6 miles, I could barely hear him after that. So get about 5 miles out of some two-way radios. Make sure you do get the radios that have, if they have rechargeable NiCads, that's no problem. But make sure these NiCads come out and can be replaced by regular AA's, because otherwise you got no way of recharging these NiCads in the field after one day. So again, got to always think about what kind of battery source you're going to have for these after your rechargeable batteries, your initial charge goes down. Spare batteries here for your radios and flashlights. I have my Gold Bomb body powder, excellent for all sorts of ailments. Other source of communication. This is probably the most critical thing in my bag. I think this is the most valuable thing in my bag. It's the Kato Voyager emergency radio. Has 5 bands, AM, FM, shortwave 1, shortwave 2, as well as 7 weather bands, and 5 different ways of charging this thing. It's wind up, so you can wind this thing up if you have no other source of power. 30 seconds of winding will give you 5 minutes of use. It has USB power. You can power it by USB, powered by external AC-DC converter. You can power it by a car converter. You can power it by AAA or AA's, and you can power it by rechargeable NiCad. So don't forget, recharged by solar energy. So there's just numerous ways to charge this radio. The most valuable thing that I like, though, is the fact that it will also, with a flip of a switch, charge other devices. So now I can actually, because for the life of me I couldn't figure out how do I charge my iPhone in the field. If for some reason we do have cell phone towers still in existence when we're in the field, we need to have a way of charging a phone. You can't stick AA batteries in an iPhone. This will actually charge your iPhone or your phone or your MP3 device. Plug your iPhone into here and charge it. Fantastic. Invaluable in my opinion. Got to have your radio. As far as still going on with lighting, I have my shaker light. Got to have one of these. This one's a little bit bulky. Not exactly what I would probably have wanted first choice. I'll probably trade this down to a smaller version. But I just picked this up because it's heavy duty. Again, 30 seconds of shaking give you 5 minutes of light. Headlight, got to have one of these. Fantastic options on this one. It has the red light for night light, blue light, and different intensities of white light, and adjustment on the headband up and down. Got to have one of these. Frees up your hands when you're setting up camp, for example, like your shelter. On the radio devices, kind of going back to the radios, one thing that I forgot to mention that's really important is make sure you get wired microphone and earphones set up, because if you have to go undercover or sort of or in sort of incognito out in the field, you can't obviously have two-way radios with a speaker on it. So this is really valuable, and they were very low cost. They just didn't add hardly any cost to the radio. So make sure you get your radios with those as well. And make sure you don't forget all of your adapters, your power adapters for this radio, for all your different connections for your different phones. Shoe goo, great to have. This is a little tip I got from another YouTuber. Great to have. Top of fixing shoes. It's just a good all-around cement. Got to have your portable saw, portable hand saw. Wire ties. Kind of an urban survival, but great. You need your wire ties. If anything else, these are great for detaining somebody in the field if you need to detain and tie somebody up in a citizen's arrest type of scenario. More wire ties. Boot laces. Got to have boot laces in the field when your boot laces break. Fire. Got a little fire pouch here. Has all my contents in here necessary to start a fire. It's got some lint from the dryer that I've collected over the time. Waterproof matches. Magnesium fire starter, lighter. Everything to start a fire is in there. Additional fire starting items. Got a fire starter here with flint on the side in case I need that. You got Vaseline soaked cotton balls. You can never have enough options for starting a fire. Ace bandage that was just sticking out there on the side that didn't fit in my first aid kit. Now, covered in the first aid, some of these smaller kits, got a couple of dust masks. Make sure these are at least bio germ type dust masks, not just dust. This will keep out some level, will protect you to some extent for germs and everything in the field. Not biochemical by any stretch of the imagination, but at least will prevent possibly contamination from germs. First aid kit, again, like I said, I'll cover this in future videos, but do label it so that if somebody, if you're in a survival situation and they find you, they can find your first aid kit quickly in case they need to assist with your first aid needs. This is kind of a great idea as well. Put your blood type on there. I got that from an Army surplus store. That's great. Helps anybody who finds you and you might be unconscious, they'll know your blood type. Survival kit, I'll go over again this in a future video, but it pretty much is self-contained. All my survival needs in here: flashlight, signal mirror, flares, everything is in this little survival kit. This is what you would typically have on your Mylar or your web system when you break away from base camp and your bug out bag is in base camp. You better have this with you. You minimally have to have some kind of survival kit. Again, my shelter bag has a flashlight, has a poncho to act as a shelter, stakes to drive in the ground, Leatherman, paracord. I can set up my entire shelter with this one bag. Drinking, water, gotta have water. Obviously the most important thing you'll need. Camelback, minimum 3-liter system. Anything less is not enough water to sustain you for one day in a survival situation. So definitely go ahead and get yourself the 3-liter pouch or bladder. This one I picked up that came with my Camelback. I kind of like it because I can use this in the field when I might be set up base camp already. I can just pop this on my back and I've got my water. This has great little pouches to put a little survival kit and a first aid kit. So consider doing that. They're a little bit pricey to get up front, but you must have it, of course. Some antibacterial wet ones, wipes, very critical. Toiletry kit has everything there from my shaving supplies to soap, shampoo, toothpaste, toothbrush. Rest is clothes. Gotta have socks. Can never stress this enough. Lots and lots of socks. You're gonna get wet feet in the field. Underwear. Gotta have underwear. Keep yourself clean. Towel and washcloth. Tactical shorts. Long sleeve shirt. Some kind of long sleeve shirt when it gets cooler. Couple of t-shirts. You're going to be changing those often. And as the last thing here, I got a field vest that's got kind of like a fisherman's vest. It's got different pockets you can put things on as well, put things in. And then a good pair of tactical gloves or work gloves. These I just picked up from the internet. They are the Voodoo tactical glove. Really like them. Fit comfortably. Give me lots of protection in the field. Okay, that's my bug out bag, kind of laid out. Next video will be the bug out bag fully loaded, and I'll show you how to properly organize and set up that bug out bag. Okay, thanks for watching.